It's not necessarily new. It's news light. Let me preface this by saying it's news light. We covered this topic on the show kind of yesterday. Yesterday, or rather the day before, it was breaking news that here, let me just post it. Dr. Octopus was confirmed by the Hollywood Reporter. Alfred Molina was confirmed that he was reprising his role as Doc Ock in the upcoming Spider-Man 3 film. And of course, we did a story about it yesterday. We talked about it. We gave our thoughts and opinions and how exciting that is and what the implications of this could and would be for the MCU moving forward, blah, 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 right? In addition to Alfred Molina being confirmed, there's a few different things about this that are mildly upsetting, and we live in the day and age of headlines, right? You read a headline and everybody freaks out. And I kind of feel like that's the theme of today's episode altogether. And again, I'm guilty of this. Alfred Molina reprises his role as Doc Ock. We need to talk about this, and we need to exploit this news, right? I'm guilty. We're literally doing this right now. This is what this particular video is about. But it also poses the question, A, should we be doing it? Because, spoilers, it would be so much better to be surprised and just see this in real time on the big screen. Why do we need all of these leaks? Why do we need to know everything that there is to know about these movies before we go to watch them? And again, I'm guilty of this. This is literally what we're doing right now. So this could not be more hypocritical of me right now. But hey, it is what it is, right? Is that an answer? No, but here we are, right? So in addition to Alfred Molina being confirmed as as playing Doc Ock, reprising his role in the next Spider-Man film, it's also being, and I'm going to put this in air quotes, confirmed that Andrew Garfield, most likely Tobey Maguire, and Kirsten Dunst will be reprising their roles from their respective films as well. This is where I take issue. I want to talk about fact-checking for a second. There are so many articles right now that are confirming that Andrew Garfield is going to be in the next Spider-Man 3 movie. I'm not saying that he's not. I'm not saying that this isn't true. This very well may be true. But all of this is, not all of this referring to Alfred Molina, but all of this referring to specifically Kirsten Dunst, Andrew Garfield, and the possibility of Tobey Maguire. This is all coming out from an article from Collider. Now, I need to preface this by saying Collider is not Joe's moviegasstationblog.com, right? It's not Gotta Love Them Movies, right? So they have some street cred. They have actual credibility. Collider is one of those news outlets. Again, news outlets. Some of it is rumor, yes. But I feel like Collider does a better job of doing their due diligence, that when they're breaking a story, that they have actual credibility. That being said, Collider is also not the Hollywood Reporter. Collider is not Variety. Collider is not Rolling Stone. Collider is not Deadline. Collider is more reliable than most rumor mill websites. I don't mean to lump Collider in with other rumor mill websites, but they're more reliable, but they're also not the most reliable, if that makes sense at all. Yesterday, Collider confirmed. Here, let me jump into this webpage for a sec. As we scroll down, because guess what? Quote, because guess what? They're all coming back. Just like Jamie Foxx's Electro, Andrew Garfield will be back. And if Sony Marvel can close a deal with Tobey Maguire, he'll be back too. Kristen Dunst will return as MJ, and I expect Emma Stone to reprise her role as Gwen Stacy, pregnancy permitting. Why? Because blah, 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 blah. Here's where I take issue with this. Collider didn't cite any of their sources. They didn't provide links to any other anything. They're not coming out and saying, we have been told exclusively from inside sources that we believe are credible. They didn't say any of that. They just made a blanket statement. Andrew Garfield will be returning. Okay. Where's your fact checking? Where's your evidence? Where's your proof? Where's your credibility here? They didn't cite any of that. And that's where I take issue with a lot of these things. And again, I'm not saying that this isn't true. This very well may be. In fact, it is very, very likely that this is true. Because here's another thing. Spider-Man 3 is already filming. They're like 3 weeks filming, like 3 weeks into filming down in Atlanta right now. The script is finished. They're not going to change the script unless they're doing last minute rewrites of, oh boy, I sure hope that we can get Tobey Maguire in this movie. They already know. Sony and Marvel already know who and who is not going to be in this movie. So all that we're doing right now is speculating what has already been done. Alfred Molina was hired way back long ago, and for whatever reason, Hollywood Reporter just got confirmation of something that had already happened months ago. Months ago. Same thing with Jamie Foxx. Jamie Foxx put out a tweet saying, hey, all the Spider-Mans are back, and then like 10 minutes later, the tweet got taken down. So is it likely that they're all coming back? Yes, it's likely, because we know kind of that this is leading into the Spider-Verse, that this is leading into the multiverse. Doctor Strange is in the movie. Again, a better surprise if we were to see it on the big screen, but hey, stuff that we know right now, right? So this is what I talk about this is what I mean when I'm talking about, let's do our fact checking, let's do our due diligence. Does it mean they're not in the movie? No. But let's find where the source is coming from. Everybody's running with this idea that it has been confirmed that Andrew Garfield is coming back to play Spider-Man in the next Spider-Man movie. Again, that may be the case. And tomorrow, maybe it will be confirmed. But Collider saying that it is confirmed doesn't mean that it's confirmed. How is it confirmed? Who confirmed it? What are your sources? You don't have to reveal your sources. Hollywood Reporter doesn't reveal their sources. Neither does Deadline or Variety. But they have a history of being credible sources. And when they say we have sources close to the project, that's what I'm talking about. And Collider didn't do that. Maybe they do have sources, but they didn't say that they have sources. They didn't say how they came to know this knowledge. All they said is they are confirmed. And now everybody else on the internet is running with the story that Andrew Garfield has been confirmed. Tobey Maguire is in talks. He's not in talks. That is already a done decision. The script has been written. The film is 3 weeks deep into production right now. Lloydie, can you give me a little bit of vocal rest right now? I've just ranted on this for a moment.
I've enjoyed that. You are passionate.
Where do you stand with stuff like this? Like you work in radio. I imagine that news is scrutinized very closely in your respective medium. Is this something that, in terms of like rumor mill type stuff, that we can take with a grain of salt, or should we as film fans do our due diligence and get to the heart of these things? Where do you stand? Or do you actually think that Collider has some credibility? Where are you?
I certainly on hard news stories, and on facts generally, I believe in scrutiny. I believe in due diligence. I think what is going on here is, in the world of entertainment news, journalism is perhaps slightly more about clicks, yeah. Basically. When you showed that webpage just a few moments ago, there's a nice Chase Bank advert there. Now, that's particular headline, and you talk about headlines, that headline will have got a click through to that page, which will have displayed that ad, and that will have registered. So they are making money from headlines like that. So for a start, any business that is dealing in entertainment news needs good headlines, because people will click through on the right entertainment story.
May I point out, when, like, if you clicked on this video, it's because of the headline and the thumbnail that I used to get you to click on this particular video. So don't think that I'm like, again, is this hypocritical of me to say or to do? It is what it is. We're all in this together, but let's also try and get things straight. Sorry, I needed to
Yeah,
interject that.
equally. No, and that's fair, but equally, we all have our own standards of like what is, to us, let's call it an ethical headline, shall we say? And I tell you what would be ethical to do now, and that's click subscribe on Gotta Love Their Movies, and ding the little bell as well so that you get the notifications on YouTube, because that's an ethical choice. We all know that. You know that. I know
Sure
that.
do.
But beyond that, there are other things at play here. And I'm with you on the I would prefer reveals in movies, like in the final Star Wars movie that we had in Episode 9. The trailer had the laugh of Palpatine in it, and then the actor confirmed he was going to be, Ian McDiarmid said he was going to be Emperor Palpatine again. That would have been just the most amazing surprise. That would have been a gasp moment in the cinema, a collective experience thing. I would have been like, what? So that's a shame. I think it's a shame when they reveal these things, but I get why they do it. Because you have got a movie theater that has sunk tens of millions of dollars into a movie. When it comes out, it has got to have a buzz around it. People have got to want to go to see it. Now, the more headlines you can generate in the run up to your movie, even during production of your movie, the more people are anticipating it, the more brain space it's taking up. Whereas the more you keep your cards close to your chest, the fewer headlines there are going to be. The tighter ship you run, the less people are going to be talking about you. Then you put out your movie, you are going to have to pay tens of millions more dollars in advertising to get people there. This is all about not only clicks, but it's also about people getting people to recognize that a movie is out. Because back in the day when there were fewer TV channels, there were one or two big blockbusters, there were a few, newspapers, and we didn't have the internet. Well, it was easy to know what was coming up. But now, there are so many YouTube channels like this one that you can subscribe to. Gotta love their movies. Just click subscribe and then ding the bell. But
You're not getting paid to say that.
actually, I know I'm not getting paid to say that. But actually, I say that partly as a joke, but partly because that is how you get attention. It's not simply through subscriptions, but when you put the notification bell on, that's how people know a YouTube channel has updated, and people know a movie is coming out because there is a headline that they want to click through on. It's all about people's brain space, and you have got to occupy, as a movie producer, people's brain space. The other thing is, if you're reading about actors who might or might not be in a movie, sometimes that's a negotiation technique between the actors and the studio. Either the actor's agent will leak something or the studio will leak something to try to seal a deal, like, why isn't this actor in that movie, or et cetera, et cetera. And I have no idea what's happening in this case. As you say, this movie is already in production. Chances are they've just, someone's got hold of some info, they want some clicks, or a movie studio has pushed out a nugget of information but not told them the whole story, or they picked it up from another source. But the fact that they're getting headlines,
and I don't take issue with that. I don't take issue with that. What I take issue with is that you are confirming, you're taking it upon yourself to confirm something that has not officially been confirmed yet. Like, obviously the studio is not going to confirm anything, but its sources close to the project, this is where we get like our nuggets. That's where like Deadline and Hollywood Reporter and Variety and Rolling Stone, they're able to have credibility with that when they say we have sources close to the project that say XYZ, and then 4 months later we come to find out no, it's true. So they're citing their source, or they're saying that they have sources. They don't cite them, but they let us know that they have sources close to the project, and they also have a history of being correct. When
they want to seem like the authority on this issue. They want to be like the voice of this is what's happening in the movies. I don't take issue
when Collider does that, but they're not saying why they know it. I mean, maybe they do know it. Maybe they do. But they're not saying why they know it. That's what I take issue with.
I see what you're saying. I suppose what I would say is it could be an editorial choice, not to say from sources. They might just want to have an editorial tone. It could be a house style that says, we can confirm that, so that they are seen as this authoritative voice rather than saying, oh, yeah, someone else kind of told us. And, it sounds to some, I'm sure, less authoritative to do it that way. So it may just be a house style choice. I genuinely
I
don't
don't
know,
know.
though.
Maybe I'm just getting caught up in semantics. Maybe all of this is genuine. Maybe I'm just making a mountain out of a molehill. What do you guys think? Am I making a mountain out of a molehill? Is there more to this story? Do you think that we can trust? Because all the sources, all of the news articles or news outlets being written about the story come from this particular article in Collider. Do you think we can trust Collider? Again, I think this is very likely that this is going to happen. I'm just a little cautious when it comes to fact checking. Where do you stand on it? Again, am I being overly cautious? Am I making a mountain out of a molehill? Am I redundant? Also, am I redundant? Let me know down in the comment section below. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you like this video, click like. If you really like this video, click subscribe. And if you really, really like this video, click share. Because that is exactly what Scrooge McDuck would want you to do. DuckTales, woo!